Hello, and welcome to Round Glass. My name is Tatum Barnes, and thank you for joining me for this meditation on stepping deeper into the heart. Today, we'll be putting our previous meditations together, culminating into a deep dive into ourselves. We'll emerge more of ourselves with a full tank for whatever life brings us next. And if this is your first meditation with me, no worries. We're still going to be going step by step, breath by breath. Now, before we dive deeper into the heart, I would love to hear from you. So, if you feel so moved, let me know in the chat, how do you want to feel by the end of this meditation? I would love to hear any and all adjectives or any other types of speech that you want to be using. How do you want to be feeling after this meditation? Now, we've already done a lot of work to clear the way into our hearts. And today I want to add just one more piece to it. We've already worked to ground ourselves so that our descent in the heart is more successful. We've talked about coming up to the threshold of the heart, moving nearer and nearer to something. We've allowed ourselves to open up to the heart and to start to be embraced by it. The last step, if you so choose to take this path, is to invite what a lot of Zen Buddhists and Zen philosophers have called the other power, or just inviting something greater than yourselves to take you to a place that you can't go by yourself. In Buddhist theology or mythology, there's often talk about this golden Buddha that exists in the middle of our hearts. This aspect of ourselves that is continually connected to the divine, to something larger, something radiant. That within ourselves there's a small version of ourselves that is always in bliss, always in connection. Outside of the Buddhist tradition, you have countless iterations of Christed iconography of the heart of Jesus, the heart of Christ. You see the same thing in Hindu traditions with Krishna all over the world. In dozens, if not all traditions, the heart is sacred because it's a place where we are connected to ourselves, connected to each other, and connected to the divine. So as we move deeper and deeper, I'll give you that little prompt to invite anything other than yourself to move deeper. But before that, I just want to express that it is my heartfelt desire that you have a roadmap to this sacred part of you so that you can explore it on your own and can get what you need each and every time in just a moment. I don't intend to give you the path that you must invoke this name in this way at this time to get something out of your meditation. As always, you are the authority. If something that I say resonates with you, fantastic. Take it with you. It was meant to be. And if it doesn't resonate, just leave it on the meditation cushion. Don't worry about it. Now, I want to thank everyone for sharing in the chat. I see some of you want to feel relaxed, calm, peaceful, revived, encouraged, reinvigorated, confident, and uplifted. And let me tell you, it makes me feel all of those words just to read that list. So thank you so much for sharing. And I would love to continue to hear from you. So at any point in this meditation, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, just chat them below, and I'll make sure to attend to them after the meditation. In just a moment, we are going to settle into our meditation with some gentle breaths. We'll clear out our bodies, getting rid of any stress or tension that may be stuck therein, and we'll soften the heart, move within, and start to move nearer, letting the heart breathe and taking those subsequent steps deeper into ourselves. But enough of me talking, enough of this intro. Let's get started. So, without any further ado, let your body take any last movements that it needs to before we invite stillness. So let the shoulders roll. Let the neck roll. Let the knuckles be cracked. Let the itches be scratched. Do whatever your body wants to do. When you're ready, your hands find your thighs, palms up, palms down, doesn't matter. You take your meditation posture with spine long but relaxed. Closing your eyes when you're ready. Or inviting that soft gaze somewhere out in front of you. And beginning to breathe normally through the nose. Beginning to align your awareness with your breath, watching the air move in and out of your nostrils, or perhaps the rise and fall of your chest. As you observe your breath, see if you can deepen it here and now. Sending the oxygen further into the belly. Breathing deeply. As the mind begins to wander, you gently bring yourself back to just watching your breath. And gently bring that focus now to the center of your chest, a few fingers above the sternum in the heart center. Breathing deeply. We consolidate our awareness in the heart. So, with the arms of your awareness, if you will, bring yourself to center. Scooping from the right, scooping from the left, you gather yourself in the centermost point of your being. Breathing deeply, you bring yourself from behind and in front of you. From below and above, and from all 360 degrees, you bring yourself here. Well done. Focusing and refocusing. With that consolidated focus, I invite you to bring your awareness to where your body makes contact with the ground beneath you. Sensing into sit bones and ankles, explore the pressure that the ground pushes up at you with. Holding you in place here. And from the ground, I invite you to visualize and see, imagine and make real a beautiful red or violet color moving from the earth and moving into your toes. Seeing it clearly in your mind's eye, going with the color that strikes you first, imagine that energy moving through the toes, swirling through the arches of your feet, and breathe that energy from below into your ankles, where we pause for a moment, collecting any stress that may be hidden in the joint. With your awareness, you call forth and gather any tension in your ankles. And you can move your focus around the ankle like a knife in an empty jar, or almost empty jar. We're scraping the sides of the ankle and collecting. Letting it build, gathering and regathering. Holding. And on your next exhale, you let it drop. Sensing that tension rushing out of your legs, out of your feet, and into the ground below, where it is received. Beautiful. See and visualize that energy from the earth moving through the ankles, through the shins, and breathe it into your knees and underneath your kneecaps, where we spread ourselves once more, collecting the tension in our body and gathering any sadness or grief that the body and mind may be holding. We call it to mind and let it build. Collecting. And with an exhale, you let that drop as well. Letting that heaviness drop from the legs. Letting it all go. There it goes. See that energy and that color rising through your knees, through your thighs, and invite it into your hips and your pelvis, where for the last time we spread ourselves, collecting any stress or static in the body, and also any frustration or annoyance that has been plaguing you recently. You call it to mind and let it grow. Scraping the sides, getting it all. You gather until it begins to boil over, and as it does so, you let it all go, exhaling deeply, letting every iota of stress rush out of the legs, holding on to nothing. You let it all drop. And with that, visualize that color rising from the legs through the soft belly, through the sternum, and invite it into the heart center where we began, where we brought our focus. Take a deep breath. And breathe deeply as we begin to make the heart center soft, giving it permission to melt. Stepping through resistance, we let go of tension and pretension, beginning to care less and less about what you look like during this meditation and focusing more on the sentiment. What do you feel? And you let go just a little bit more. Focusing and refocusing. Beautiful. Here I invite you to take a step deeper within yourself, imagining a doorway in the front of the chest to step through and into, a deep well to peer into, to fall into, or simply imagine yourself in a large, well-lit room in the middle of your chest. However you go, you withdraw your external senses to extend your internal senses, investigating playfully what colors and textures exist for you in the center of your chest. It can be abstract, it can be imaginative, it can be narrative. There are no wrong answers. You simply explore. Moving from sensation to sensation. Investigating. Moving deeper, allowing yourself to step further within the heart. Wherever you are in your meditation, see if you can find any light, any gold within the heart, any brilliance, If you can feel, see, intuit that, beautiful. You breathe into it and move towards it ever nearer. And if you don't, no worries, you imagine it yourself, lighting a candle in the middle of the chest, picturing a gold pinprick. Letting your imagination lead the way, you move nearer. Moving nearer still. As you do so, the mind and body will collaborate to bring you back to the external world, but stay stubborn. Let this meditation take priority for about a few more minutes. Notice how moving nearer isn't moving toward the back body per se, but moving nearer in another spatial dimension where you might be a little confused. But you will feel it as you move nearer. Stepping deeper within. As you move nearer and deeper still, give your heart permission to breathe you. Trusting this heart's intelligence, let yourself fall into a natural rhythm of breath. No longer controlling, no longer in control. It may seem too short, too quick, too shallow, but never fear. It is precisely what you need here and now. Moving as near as you can, pressing yourself onto the threshold of the heart. And when you think you're there, you take one step nearer, pressing yourself against it. Beautiful. There it is. It is here that I invite you to open up to that which is greater. Picturing, calling to mind that image of a golden Buddha. If Buddha is a personality that appeals to you, appealing to an image of Christ or Krishna or any teacher that you work with, or simply picturing yourself, a small, golden, enlightened version of yourself sitting in the middle of the chest. Beautiful. With that invitation, we give our hearts permission to open unto us. And your job is simply to bear witness to its blooming. Now the heart does not open with a whimper. Love is the most powerful force in this universe, and so opening our hearts in this way is explosive. Continue to move nearer and to open yourself to this golden one within until you feel that boom. that explosion of love and life. Focusing and refocusing, allowing yourself to spread as pure awareness. Beautiful. The amazing thing about this heart center is it is beyond space and time. So as you begin to drift into this consciousness, you can allow your awareness to move from not just centered on the middle of your chest, but feeling the entire body open up, letting the heart of every cell and atom join in this blossoming. Until the entirety of you is open, breathing, and aware. Diving deep once more. Pushing off of thoughts and distraction. Thank you. Gently, as to keep this sensation in this experience close, you gently move to where your body makes contact with the ground beneath you. Wiggling toes, wiggling fingers, waking up wrists and ankles. Letting the body move as it wants to, and opening your eyes when you're ready. And welcome back. Picturing your favorite dessert. If you feel a little spacey, it brings you back in an instant. Taking that brief moment to compare how you feel now to how you felt before the meditation. Hopefully uplifted, reinvigorated, confident, at ease, and all the things that we intended for this time together. And now, if you've not gotten a chance, if any questions have come up, any comments, anything relevant at all, please type it down in the chat and I'd love to hear from you. Like I said at the end of that meditation, the heart center is special because it is a place beyond space and time. It is a place where we all meet. It is that singular point where all points come to rest. So I hope that you felt this beautiful group of meditators all meditating together. We have amazing people meditating live, but also for everyone who's meditating in the future, watching these words. We're all doing this together. We're all in the same room, so to speak. And that is a beautiful thing. I see a question. What is your favorite dessert? Oh, great question. to bring me fully back to earth, and I so need that. To be fair, my favorite dessert is those cheap strawberry shortcake popsicles that I used to get at park stands in New York City, they don't get me back from meditation so effectively, but I would love one right now. So I usually think of like a rich chocolatey eclair sort of thing. That is probably not what I'd order at a restaurant, but it gets me back into my body, into my routine faster than the strawberry shortcake. Thank you for asking. Very important, very important. So, my friends, what I would hope for you is that you know that there is this part of you, not just understand it conceptually, that, oh yes, there's this metaphor of the golden one inside me, and that is a useful way to understand that I'm always connected to the divine. That's just an idea, and the idea is never going to allow us to touch and experience and be within that truth. So I hope that today, here and now, you've been able to really experience that so that you can go back. That way you can have that experience whenever you need it. So when you're stressed, when you're tired, when you're lost and confused, when you're struggling, when you're suffering, because that's part of life, you know where to go. Nearer and nearer still. You touch that live wire, you open up, and suddenly life feels a little bit better. Because life isn't perfect, but it works because love says yes to life. I have a very nice comment. I suppose I'll read it. Your energy is contagious. I love joining these live sessions with you. Oh, stop it. No, you. Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate it. It is a pleasure and a privilege to sit with all of you, and specifically with this heart-centered meditation. As we wrap up our time together, I will give you just one little gem, little wisdom gem to keep in your back pocket, to keep in the back of your mind as you move forward. And I never have these prepared, so I have to see what comes to me. I feel like I've said this one before, but you know what? It's just so true that it bears repeating, which is never fear. Fear is the thing that's going to shut the heart down. We need to be courageous. We need to be courageous in our lives and also when we sit in these meditations. When life gets hard and we start to fear like, oh, it's all going downhill. This is it for me. It is this heart-centered practice that is going to give us the courage to say yes to life like the heart does and move past those challenges. So never fear. There's always a way, and we always have that connection within us. So with that, I thank you for joining me for this session. For all of these heart sessions, please follow me on my profile to practice this session again and see when I'm going live next. And as always, thank you. Stay blessed, stay compassionate, and be well. Peace.